In the equities quadrant today on the future side, the NASDAQ was the strongest performer of the three indices. All three indices gapped lower off of some poor trade news. Again, pressure from China on Canada now, specific threats against Canada for the arrest of the Huawei Technologies CFO. And of course, the threats continue against the U.S., although still oddly silent from President Trump and President Xi Jinping of China. But later in the day, the NASDAQ was the first one to go positive and finish the day positive. Communications and information technology were the strongest sectors, and within the information technology sector, the software component of that sector was the strongest within the sector. So the NASDAQ obviously populated with communications and technology and software, the strongest performer of the day. Apple rebounded earlier in the day. China announced some sanctions specifically against Apple that some analysts said meant there were no Apple phones that were going to be allowed to be sold in China, but Apple iPhones are being sold right now in China. Apple said they see that proclamation differently. They see it as just old software phones. This is an existing sort of dispute between Apple and Qualcomm that China ruled in Qualcomm's favor of. Down on its lows, Apple was down 2.7% and then rallied back to finish the day positive. Apple's a big component in the Dow. It wasn't enough to rescue the Dow as quickly as it did the NASDAQ. But then there were bargain hunters in all the FANG stocks: Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. Google, known as Alphabet, all rallied in with buyers of the dips coming in to buy those stocks, looking for that sort of buy the dip, buy and hold situation that we really hadn't seen in quite some time, given that the tariffs on cell phones and the 25% threatened tariffs are going to remain at 10%, at least for the next 90 days, barring some sort of catastrophe that we haven't already seen between the U.S. and China. So tech was definitely the winner in that bargain hunting. We saw utilities up as well, but again, in the sector race, communications and IT, which heavily populate the NASDAQ, did rally, and it ended up being the strongest performer on the day.